Right, here we are in Jeff's workshop. On a very hot day, but at least I've got my cup of tea here, that's fine. And there's been some good news and bad news. So Jeff's been telling me about the good news. Not for me, but good news for me. Because down there, if we look down there, we've got the wheel.
Oh, sorry.
The wheel. We'll do the wheel first.
That one?
Yeah, yep. This is my wheel.
That.
Which you've been trying to get the...
It was a lighter made centre.
Yes. But you've been trying to get that rim polished up.
Oh.
Which we were looking at last time I was here. And it's been difficult.
What an absolute
nightmare. So you said, hang on a minute, there might be a solution, because up in your loft you might have another wheel like this with a polish rim.
Yeah.
And sure enough,
actually, it's the wheel that was out of the
out here.
Out of this.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's half your. It's
half mine anyway. Oh well.
It's half yours.
We'll do a swap. We'll do a swap. I'm sure.
I'm not bothered about it.
All right. Okay.
What you might as well do is just.
I'll let you keep that for the time being.
No, you just. Well, I'm thinking. Obviously, the wheels in the future. You might as well keep them and spare rims.
All right. Okay. We'll keep
the sensor's not much to us.
Right. Okay.
You know.
Okay. You can go in the loft of doom for a while anyway. Well,
hey?
You can go upstairs for a while.
I'm trying to get rid of
I know you are, and so am I. Anyway, let's put that down and we'll look at what the replacement's going to be.
The replacement?
And it's here.
Rest that down
with a nice shiny rim for a change. And the...
Oh, it's rolling away.
Rolling away, never mind.
It's coming to you, see? Look. Come to
Mummy.
towards
me. Yeah. So this is the replacement rim. A replacement wheel, actually. We're doing a whole wheel. And it is slightly different design in that it's
a thicker centre and it actually matches the back.
Yeah, which I never realised before, but fine. Yeah. It matches the back.
This one originally, it was flat. Mm-hmm. I don't know if we have any old photographs.
Somewhere.
But turn that off.
It's never off quick.
Yeah. But originally, that metal from there come to about here.
Oh yes, you machined down, didn't you?
Yeah, and I've milled them out and gone round there.
Yes.
And then so that they're actually flat.
Yeah.
And then just milled in each side.
Yeah, to match the back.
Both sides have been done.
Excellent.
Your hubs fit on there.
Yes.
There was a couple of thou on the spigot, but...
Are they my hubs or are they different?
They're your hubs.
Oh, right, okay.
So everything will fit on.
Ready to go now.
It's all gone in.
Yes.
Like I said, I put the spigot in and there was like a couple of thou it moved, but you're thinking there's more than a couple of thou run out on the bloody tyre. Yeah. So, and then rims you probably...
So where's all the faster centre together?
Well, you've still got some in there, but you see that little blue tub on there?
Oh yes, yeah.
They're all the ones that we're going to go, so you might as well
full of stuff.
have them.
I'll let you do that. Because
hang on, you let me do what?
Yes. Well, I'm a bit concerned about it leaking air again. Because that's
you want me to bolt it all up?
Yeah. Have you got some sealer for it?
No.
Some sealant. That white stuff I got. You have. I got you some.
No, I want to get some. Let's. Whatever he used, he gave me some stuff for doing that compressor case. Right. It's some black RTV.
But I'll have a look then. Black RTV.
Don't just get a cheap. Get something real good.
I'll get you the good stuff.
Yeah, get a real.
We don't want it leaking again because the last one was a nightmare.
Well, let's put that on there.
Okay, that's good news anyway. That's good news. We can press on with that.
That looks a lot better.
Now,
just when I thought I'd managed to get rid of something,
it's all right. I'll stick it in my car and it can go. You can stick it. Go in my loft for a while.
Well, that's got all the screws. I could take them out and use.
Yes, yeah, we could do. Yeah.
I'll take them out anyway.
Alright, so we've got those anyway.
Well, you might as well keep them as spare rims.
Yeah, okay.
Even if they get anodised or...
Yeah, okay. I'll paint it, I'll paracoat it.
Well, I think what they might do is they won't go in some caustic soda.
Oh, it needs more than that, I think, but we'll see.
They are tough.
Yes, I'll have a crack at it.
Actually, what we'll do is we'll still keep that centre because it's handy for putting them on to
polish stuff, alright. We'll leave it for there, I'll put it in the car and it can go home.
Yeah, it's lucky I had all the gear because I'd polished them rims. I had the spigot is the same.
It's the same.
I had all the bits to bolt on the miller to do it.
Excellent, so that's done.
So,
right, okay. What else? Oh yes, we've got the, here.
Oh!
Behind me, I've got the...
Now.
That's the rear
if you look,
yes.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, I can polish stuff, and it looks great. But sometimes you've seen. If you look very carefully, you can see the odd little mark.
I will go home and go through again.
Hey,
right, I'll go over.
You can just but the thing is, you can see a few marks there, but it'll be behind
the swing arm.
The thingy. So I'm wondering, is it worth it?
Probably not. No, probably not. Yeah,
so
I'll take it home as well. Right. That's great. Now
there is a few tiny little blemishes, but by the time you've got that on the swinging arm,
but the first time I ride the damn thing in the road, it's going to get a few marks anyway.
I've done the case, the outrigger, but there is a few tiny little marks in that.
Let's have a look. That's the outrigger case. The outer one.
I don't know if you.
Again, I can take it home and have a look.
There's a few little marks, but by the time you've got your bearing cap on, but there's a little scratch there, and when you've got, if you bolt the cylinder on, you can just see a little bit of it.
I will deal with that. I'll deal with that. I'll take it.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I could keep on blocking that to get it out.
I'll do it.
But
give it me. I'll take it home and do it. I can always finish it off if need be. Or are you going to bolt it all up?
There was like a coating on that I had to get off.
Okay. Well, if you bolt up all the parts that need to go on there, then it can be ready to go on the bike.
Yeah, I mean, once the thing's on there, you can hardly see that line. No. I think you'd really
get your hands and knees.
You'd have to go. You'd have to be someone like a person we know.
We both know.
Have you seen that?
Pedantic.
Yeah.
A rivet counter.
And while he's looking at it close, just sort of go behind him and go bang. Shut up. Yeah.
Okay, so that's good. Yeah. That's good. Now then, so that's progress here. We can put that back down, nice and safe.
Right.
Moving on then very quickly. Hang on, go and stand over there, Jeff. Go and stand back. Go and step.
I was just looking for something there then.
No, it's alright. You got some gearbox stuff here.
You're doing a control thing.
I am. I've got to control you. Otherwise, this video will be about an hour long.
Oh, you know me. I'll just do whatever I want.
So anyway, last week or last week, your Les brought you.
I'll put them there.
1.5 worth of crankcase parts to build a new crank for my Mark II.
No, only enough to build this. I've got some in there. I found them the other day.
Okay, but you've got enough bits in theory to build
down
a
in the
crank
box area.
for me. Okay, you got a box down there.
What we'll do. That needs to go over there. No, put it over there.
Put it over there. I'm not sure what's there.
Yeah, that's what was undoing your thing with. Right, let's move these on here.
Yes, and we'll come back to them because that's quite interesting.
Running out of room.
Yes, as always.
Yeah. I want to buy a garage like Doctor Who's TARDIS.
Yes, well, I think this is like a TARDIS in here.
Yeah.
Anyway,
do you know something?
Let's talk about
the subject. If you took everything out of here,
yes,
and tried to put it back in, it wouldn't go in.
No,
you wouldn't get it in.
No,
because it has to evolve.
Yes, it's got to.
That's an important thing.
Yeah, if you came in here, you'd be amazed how much stuff there is in here.
You'd never fit it all in.
No, right. So we got a box of bits. We got a box of crank.
After that useless piece of information.
Yes. So here's your box of Mark II Kawasaki.
No, these are yours.
I know. Well, my box of Mark II Z1000 Kawasaki. No, he said to me there was like 2 whole ones, but there maybe only 1.5 worth using.
I've checked them with a brand new. We've got a brand new good 17mm gudgeon pin there. Okay, good. Because the 17mm wrist pins, aren't they? As God hell wrist pins, as the Americans say.
Small end.
Yeah, all the rods are a bloody good fit.
Right. Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good news.
I've had some rods and the pin just goes
falls right through. It's worn out.
So these rods are very good. They're very good there.
Okay, good.
I've checked them all with that because that's a new unused pin. Which one is it? Is it that one? Can't remember if it's that one. There, that's the one. I don't know if we can zoom in.
I can see that from here.
Can you see that tiny pit there?
Let me zoom, just a sec. Okay, so I've refocused, so hopefully now I can see
Can you see that?
There's a bit of pitting there.
Yeah, that's
bad.
Don't get me wrong, you could run that and it would probably do many miles. It is actually pitted in, you can feel it.
No, if I'm paying several £1000s for an engine, I want it right. We're not fitting slightly dodgy parts.
I mean, to be honest, if you was probably going to run a motor down the quarter, it probably wouldn't.
I'm not doing it.
It'll probably blow up before you run the risk of knackering that up.
Okay.
Anyway, everything's okay.
Apart from that,
we have got rods off the GPZ, but I'd have to get where have I put it?
Just a second. Let me just refocus. Okay, just a second. We'll just stop there. Well, right. Okay. So that's a problem. I don't want to use that one. So we've got to find something else to use. What else?
Like I say, I've checked everything. All the other 3 are brilliant. What is the worst thing is the
bottom ends.
The small ends are in brilliant condition. They're not worn.
I'm sure we'll find another one from somewhere.
I think this crank's been stud and water's got in, and many people over the country have these cranks and they spin them, they roll them, they think that's in great condition, but until you can see inside them,
take them apart.
There's a lot of them that are just going to be spares or repairs. So that is.
You can have that one back, Jeff. You can have it for your drag bag or something.
I don't want that.
Well, I don't want it either. I'm sure you can make some use out of it.
Yeah, but it's getting a rod.
We'll get a rod. We'll find I'll go and buy a complete crank from somewhere.
Now, well, this is the point I was getting back to.
That's £200 for an old crank.
You can pick one up a lot cheaper, for 100 quid or something for an ST crank. But the trouble is, you could pull it apart and end up.
Well, hopefully we'll have one decent crank. We'll have one decent rod.
At least then, the odds of all falling.
Either that, or I might go looking to see what kind of aftermarket rods I can get.
I've had the magnifying glass on the rollers.
Yes.
Because you have to check them to make. You have to turn them and keep
checking. Yes.
But the roller looks in great fettle.
Good.
In fact, if you put that together,
it will fit in fantastic.
And once it's cleaned, and you actually spin it and check it,
would appear to be fantastic. Yeah.
You would swear that there's nothing wrong with it.
Except when you're in 10,000 RPM and it goes bang.
Well, it probably wouldn't.
I know.
But what happens is when it starts getting pits like that, because it's got a hard surface on it, it can end up crumbling away.
Yeah.
And if it starts to break away, it can then act as grinding paste.
End of engine.
It wouldn't lock up. It wouldn't cause any serious problems.
Engine out pretty quick.
But it could cause problems where it would just eventually break up and knack the bearing.
Great stuff.
Yeah.
Right. Good. So we'll have to sort out one conrod or several. We don't know yet. We'll have to see. Now, so that's
the only thing wrong with that rod.
Excellent. Anything else we can talk about the crank right now? While we're here about that particular crank. If not, we'll put it away. Let's put it away, and we'll talk about something a bit more interesting. Anyway, talking about cranks and conrods, on a different subject, I see your workbench is full of special conrods, which you made. Dun dun dun. So they were made quite some time ago. So they've been dragged out of the dusty shelf where they've been waiting for all this time. Well, so what are you up to then?
I've been honing and reaming them to get them to all fit.
So this is the crank for what?
Yeah, they're about 1,000. What's happened is, and it's amazed me, when they were sweated into there, it's actually a hardened steel centre. It's closed in on that aluminium rod.
Oh, there you go.
I would never have thought it would have done that.
Yeah.
We're only talking 1/1000, and what's happening is, it's just a fraction.
Yeah.
We're only talking.
Right. Well, let me zoom in on that
very little
crank that's on your workbench so people can see what we're talking about. Just a second. Far end of the bench, you said you need 2 cranks because once
Take
you've
the notice of that. That is, funnily enough,
another crank.
That is the one that was going to go in the comp bike.
Okay. All right. We'll ignore that for the time being then. You cover it up, keep it nice and safe.
That's got 2 tapered ends on it, so for a road bike, it's not really
appropriate. Now that one there, well,
depending on what
you're going to do with it. So you've got your homemade billet conrods. There they are there, and you're building up I assume that's a Kawasaki Z1 Z1000 crank you're building up there.
These are basically GPZ.
GPZ 11.
And like you say, GPZ 11.
J's, whatever.
J's, shaft. Even the 1100 shafter motors are all the same.
Okay. And now people might not remember because it's such a long time ago. But let me just zoom out again and we'll talk about how you made those conrods. Right, okay, so focused out again. So if you pick up one of your wonderful little aluminium conrods, so tell us, how do you make them?
Them are made out of 7075 aluminium.
Okay, which you can shoot out. And the small end is what? That's just
That is a fuzzy bronze bush that's been
pressed in.
Well, I actually warmed the ends of the rods and they've gone in.
And did you make those bushes?
Them have been made out of PB. Is it PB1? There's different grades of fuzzy bronze. That's the automotive fuzzy bronze.
Okay.
You can get like soft and hard. That's hard. That.
And they hold oil, don't they?
Yeah. It holds oil.
So that's a small end, but looking at the big end, that's somewhat different, isn't it?
That is actually what we can do is we have a couple up here. That is actually. Let's grab that rod.
Yeah.
And we'll show.
It's been recycled from a conrod, hasn't it? You've actually
that is the hardened
centre of an original conrod.
Basically, it was ground through, and then basically they were put on that in the lathe.
That's right.
Ground
with on the outside.
Ground to to that.
Yes, to the outside, and then they were pressed into.
Well, with a couple of foul fit,
yeah.
They were warmed. I think I cooled them, and they were like
straight in.
But we had to get them. We had to make sure that they went in,
and they're still nice and round.
Yeah, because
it could distort.
One of the bronze washers is 1 mil thick, and one is a lot. I've not measured it. Right there. One of them is they can't go in the middle, so we've had to make it. So basically, when it's in, them are half a mil either side.
Right.
So not only pressing it in,
but making sure it's in the correct amount.
Sure it stops, because once that stops,
it ain't moving.
You have to make sure if it wants that's it.
Okay.
So they all had to go in.
Which folks who don't see very often will ask the question, well, why if you're making on conrods?
That's what that was for.
Yes.
Because when it was done, they used to go straight in, and once they were down to that level, I knew they were right.
So now the question is, why not just use a standard conrod and a standard crank? So what purpose do you have for these?
Well, I can take them to 20 mil, because the amount of performance pistons you can buy.
With the 20
Not only that, I just thought I'd make some.
Just for the sake of making
Just
some.
for the sake of making
Are they
some.
heavier than a standard one, or do they look a bit heavier, but maybe they're not, I don't know.
Well, there's some more weight to come off that, because, like I say, we've got our little mandrel there. I've got to set them up on the miller, because all these sharp edges
have to go.
Yeah,
you can't have a sharp edge. It's
I've done them.
Stress point, isn't it? Yeah.
Done them.
Yeah.
So what I need to do now is go on the rotary and curve both of them.
Yes.
Curve them. Come down.
Yeah.
The hardest one is going to be that.
Yeah.
Maybe
you need to do it by hand.
Well, I know the diameter of the cutter that I did them with when it finished.
Yeah.
So what I'll have to do is machine a piece of aluminium, the diameter, pop it on the centre on the rotary table, push that up to it, clamp that to the table, and then that'll be on the perfect arc to
machine that.
Yeah, to get that curve in there.
It's a lot of work, Jeff. It's a lot of work. So when it's finished, what purpose? Where's that going to go? What engine is that going to go in?
Well, I wanted to hopefully run some in our spares bike.
The spares bike, which has been dismantled for a couple of years. It's called a spares bike because it's built out of spare parts that came out of this bike here, which I call a comp bike.
No, not this.
Oh, no. The spares bike is the one built from spares that came out of this.
This is the comp bike. You call this the comp bike.
I know. And the spares bike's a simpler, supposedly simpler supercharged nitrous bike, which uses all the spare bits that came off that one, because it gets changed and changed and changed, if you've ever seen a video about that one. Okay, so you are moving forward with that. That's great. What else have you been up to then in the last
That's about
few
it, really.
days? You do your cranks, wheels, and then over here.
My only snag now is I thought, oh, that's perfect. I just started to ream one of the rods.
Yes.
I've actually done it on that. Okay. I said the other day I've no use for it, and I thought, no, it's perfect.
Yeah.
But what's happened? It's second hand.
Yeah.
But the trouble is the edge is gone, and it was just getting hot.
Yeah.
It measures about 16.95.
Oh, that's one.
And what I wanted to do, some of these have got to go to 18.
Right.
So I thought I'll try one in it. So if it does go bigger than 17, I can then, you've not lost anything.
Well, didn't you say you got to 20 altogether? We got to 20.
I want to take them there to 20.
Oh, you got even more over there. Look, you got even more sets of.
Oh, there's another. There's
sets and sets.
Yeah,
of them.
sets.
That's hundreds of hours of work to make them.
There's a lot of hours of work. Yeah,
it certainly is. Anyway, that's great.
But the thing is, you can get loads of performance pistons with 20mm gudgeon pins, whereas the older stuff now,
it's getting rare.
That's got 17 and 18mm is very, very.
Well, I got some for my.
You can still find stuff, but it's not very.
It is. The gym stuff I got was lovely, forged.
Oh, maybe them 1260s and stuff like that. I'm on about sort of forged flat tops and super, all that stuff that they used to run.
All right, okay.
Yeah.
Well, anyway,
you start getting up to like 80mm, you'll struggle to find a piston. With a.
Oh yeah. Well, mine is 75.
With a 17mm.
Yeah, mine is 75. Which gives 1170 for the engine.
They're more common. They'll probably make a lot more of them because there's a lot of people probably using them.
Yes. Right. Okay. I'm looking around to see what else is going on at the moment. So yeah, Jeff, I just noticed as I'm walking by, you've got that block with the liners sitting on top of it, and you're saying those liners are now ready to go in. Just drop them in, bit of heat.
If you warm the block and probably put them in the fridge, they'll just sit it on a couple of pieces of wood.
Yes.
And then just get ready, and then just go drop.
Drop.
But what I'd like to do is just get a piece of aluminium that you can put in the top, and maybe just get the mallet just ready to give it, to make sure they're down.
And once again, what's that block for then? Is that the spares bike?
That's the spares bike.
Another one for the spares bike. Good.
We've got the 78mm pistons.
Yes, that will give it what cc is that?
1260.
1260, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you could have got away with a standard block, but
Wow, that looks cool, doesn't it?
It just, you know,
looks better. Looks better.
But that I didn't want to put the liners in yet because I've got to do just a little bit of milling on here, you know, for the cam chain bits. There's just, and I thought if I get the liners on it, it's gonna.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, while you're standing over there, right? The other day when I was happily spending hours and hours and hours wearing my fingernails to the bone, rubbing down that blooming anodised bracket, right?
Yeah.
I thought, so hang on a minute, Jeff's got that here. Bloody belt sander.
I know.
That would have done it in 10 seconds.
I know.
I know. And what? I take it you didn't tell me just to let me go away and spend hours and hours and hours suffering.
I thought I'll tell you after you've done.
Yeah, after, oh, you little swine. Yeah, I remember. I thought you got one of them because I bought the bloody belts from, didn't I? I bought you some more belts.
Well, it's different grades.
I know. I bought you some fine ones, didn't I? Because you had some really rough, some really sort of really.
I think there was
aggressive ones. Yeah.
I think there was an 80.
Yeah.
Did you get a 150?
I got you a couple. Yeah, I got you some a bit
like
more.
A 180.
Yeah, yeah. That wasn't quite so aggressive. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that thing can chew through metal like anything, can't it? Anyway, you live and learn. You live and learn.
Yeah.
So that's that. Right, and finally, there's one more thing you did.
Are you taking these bits here?
What bits?
Yeah,
Okay,
sure.
so you quickly assemble that. So I can go home. I'll clean up the inner.
So like I said, that's all polished there.
Yes.
It's the amount of rubbing and polish.
I know.
I think you might be better just going over that with something like some 400s and just making it look like an aluminium finish.
If it takes me, Yeah. We'll see. And it can go on the bike. So that's good. So if you stand back a bit, Jeff, because it's not in shot now.
All right.
I'm just going to move it around a bit so we can see it from all angles.
Right.
Yeah.
There's some greasy fingerprints
I know.
on there now.
And it needs to be cleaned up on the inside.
Yeah.
The inner plate, you can't really see it on the bike. The chain's in the way. So I'm just going to give that a satin finish.
I'd just get some 400s
Yes,
and just give it
I will.
you know, like a.
I may even have it hard anodised.
You could get it anodised, yeah.
Yeah. That cam coat or something. If it doesn't take too long.
No, because we've put a little bit.
You
of
can't do it.
there.
Yeah. Okay, we can't.
So
do it. Don't get it anodised.
if you put it in something, it might dissolve that.
Yes.
You know where we built that up in there.
Okay. Lesson learned. We won't do that.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's that then. Time to go home, and I'll come back end of the week, and we'll see.
Yeah. That's just
what else is going on.
Yeah. I think we're going to end up Loctiting that in, but we don't know yet. I'm hoping that it's not too long. We may have to take a bit off these, you know, so the gear shaft just comes out ready to get our thing on it.
Okay. Right. Well, I think you're out of focus now, so.
Or if it doesn't, we could always put it in from
the other side.
Manual. It doesn't look as nice. It looks better.
Put it on the outside. Right. Okay. So I'll get that in the car. I'll go home and drink some more tea. So for now, then, Jeff, thanks for doing all that, and we'll come back next week and see what else is going on. So thanks for watching, everybody, and cheers.
Thank you.